And it has turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life.
It really depends on what your priorities are.
Something I don't really understand is
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Jin. A lot of international students come to Korea as exchange students every year. So today, I'm gonna be asking exchange students in Korea if they would recommend others to come to Korea as exchange students. Let's get into it. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Tarek, I'm from Jamaica.
Gavin. I'm from California.
What are you studying at the moment?
At my home university, I'm a math and econ double major.
My major is econ finance. So
I'm from Germany and I'm studying business administration at Konkuk University.
From Germany and study education, just called Master Lehramt für Gymnasium.
I'm Franca. I'm from Spain, from a city called Lleida, and I study English and literature.
I'm Millie and I'm from Madrid, from Spain too. And I'm studying here English and literature too.
Oh, okay. Today's question is, would you like to recommend people to join exchange program to Korea?
Yes, I would definitely recommend coming to Korea as an exchange student. It's especially different from European culture, and I think this cultural difference is something that's so great to experience.
I would say yeah, because I feel like not just Korea, but any exchange program in the world gives you so many opportunities to learn about yourself and a new culture. So I always tell people just go for it.
I would recommend people to come here, especially if you want to go out of your comfort zone and get to know other people from other cultures.
I want you to tell some good things about, especially in Korea.
The culture and sense of going out to eat in the evening or the entertainment in the noraebang and
One of the best things to me is I feel like the public transport. I'm from Jamaica, which is very much a third world country, and we don't have any set system of public transport, but I don't own a car out here or anything, and I've been to Gangnam, I've been to cities far away from here just on the public transportation system, and it's so easy to get around. Food is otherworldly amazing. I feel I'm yet to be disappointed by anything. Well, there's one thing I didn't like, but that was apparently Japanese food, but everything Korean that I've had is perfect.
You had Japanese food in
It
Korea?
so I wasn't sure, so I was talking to somebody about what's your favorite food and what don't you like, and I was like, I don't like what's it called, tankatsu.
yeah.
I was like, I don't like tankatsu, and they're like, oh no, that's not Korean, it's fine. And I was like, oh perfect, that means I like all Korean food.
Okay.
I feel like one underrated thing about Korea is the communal dining. When you go out to meals, it's you're all sharing food together, and that's a really wonderful experience to go about that with friends.
The Korean food is one reason as well. You get a table full of different things, and you choose what you like then.
A lot of
It's not-
banchan, right?
Yeah, panchan or different kind of soups. Yeah,
Side dishes.
yeah.
I feel like in some way people everybody tries to help you, even because I don't know any Korean, and I've been on the bus once and I was basically lost, and I was trying to ask the bus driver hey, is this bus going to Yonsei University? And his English was he didn't have good English, and then I remember a guy behind me spoke to the bus driver and was like, oh hey, he's trying to go to Yonsei, and then he looked at me and said, oh no, this bus isn't going to Yonsei, you need to get on this one. And that was really nice of him, because he could have just left me there to get lost.
I mean, it's also just really easy to go out here in general. I think that going to clubs, going to bars, doing all the things a student wants to do, it's really accessible. I mean, and there is public transportation, so you can get there, get back, and not really have to worry about it.
Sinchon and Hongdae is the most party places, and it's really close to Yonsei University, right?
Yeah.
I feel like most people, if not all the people in the dorm, party in Hongdae, because I feel like it's so close. Sometimes you'll go out there and you just keep walking around and you see half of the dorm just walk by you. Pretty close as well. Even if you're out too late and you miss the train or the sub, you could just walk back. It's a 20-minute walk, but you can walk back. Yeah.
Or get a taxi. That's pretty cheap.
Or walk back. Same thing.
Yeah.
You said a lot of good things, but there must be some bad things about Korea while you're staying here as an exchange student. Like, could you tell me about that?
There's a lot of things that just need to be organized when coming here, and especially the alien registration card is something that's very necessary to have a comfortable life here. And it takes a lot of time to get it, and I still don't have it right now. So that's one of the things that's a bit troublesome. And sometimes it can also be troublesome to people in shops might not speak English, and especially if you want to ask certain questions, it will be hard to make them understand.
Sometimes it's hard to communicate in general with Korean people, especially not knowing Korean. So, for example, administration at university, or I don't know, getting an apartment, like where the owner is Korean, so it's kind of hard to deal with prices and taxes and stuff like that.
For getting a course, for me, it was really difficult. Like, there's a lot of competition just for having a place in the course you want. In a few minutes, there's no place in that subject or something like that.
I think that Korean people are like kind of hard to approach at times. It's very easy to like become closer friends with them, but it's hard to create that initial encounter, which I don't know. It makes it a little bit harder to make Korean friends because it's like, how do I even get to know you if I can't meet you in the first place? Korean society, I think, that is a little bit reluctant to meet new people, which is maybe different than Europeans or Americans.
One thing I would say is I find that some people are like really impatient sometimes. I'll go to like crosswalks or something. There's no light or anything, so it's a sort of, if you see me on a crosswalk, I hope you stop, or if I see the car coming, it's like each person needs to have discretion, and like, you know, and I feel like half the time like people will come like right, like they'll be speeding, and instead of just like completely stopping, they'll come like right up to be like, hey, yo, like go. Which I mean, I guess it's a difference in culture, but I've never been a fan of that kind of, you know, because a minute out of your day isn't gonna change the world, you know. So I always feel like there's no need to rush. Like some people will straight up like honk at you, which you know. Also on the impatience, one of the things that confuses me almost is that like people will be driving and they try to hit you off the sidewalks almost when they want you to, you know, get across. But then I'll go for the subway and I'll watch people line up to get into the train, and I'm just like, so people driving are very impatient, and then you come to the subway and everybody stands, waits for the people to get out and then go in, which it's like, it's funny seeing the difference in one mode of transport, like in the same place.
The apartments, that might be actually problems, and the living cost. So it might be that the apartment where you're staying is rather small.
So you mean it's expensive, but you can get only small rooms?
Yeah, the rooms are small, so there might be like little ventilation, so the air is actually bad inside the rooms. I lived in a koshy one before, so it was really bad.
What about now?
I moved recently, so now I'm living in a shared house with like maybe 10 other people, and it's actually really good there. That's
Something I don't really understand is just the way that age is different in Korea than in the US. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but whenever you're having a conversation with someone, they'll ask you, oh, how old are you? And like that's like kind of a weird question if you're not from here. But essentially what they're doing is they're trying to understand if you're older than them, then that they should honor and respect you for that, versus if they're older than you, you should do that for them. And it can be a little hard to wrap your head around, because it's like, why am I honoring and respecting this person who's 1 year older than me? Like they're essentially the same age. Why are they acting like they know so much more, they are so much greater? And it takes a little getting used to. Not that it's a bad thing at all, though. Just that's something that I've noticed.
The last question, what would you say to people who are still hesitating to come to Korea as exchange students?
Just do it. Like, I sat down for weeks because my options were London or South Korea, and I was just like sitting there like, I can't go to Korea, I don't know the language, but it's such a nice place to go. It's like all the way across the world. I could learn so much, and it has turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life because you learn a lot about life, I feel like, and different ways to live life. Like as he mentioned, the communal eating, it's such a beautiful thing because like before I've never thought like, oh, I'd sit with my friends, we'd cook there, eat all of that. Before, to me, that was like, not weird, but it's like, that's just not something I think to do. And coming here, that has shown me, and I feel like the connections I've built with friends here are like amazing just because of how much I've gone out to eat with friends and we sit there and we talk. So I'd say just do it. Like it might seem scary and you might seem like you know, but just do it because like I don't speak a word of the language. I've been here for 2 months. I've gotten around fine. I'm yet to get lost.
Why are you hesitating? I don't know. You should just do it. Gonna be a really good time. Whatever your hobbies are, you can do it in Korea. You can go to heaps of parties as well.
Yeah, definitely don't go to London.
Why?
Nah, I just think South Korea, if you want to go to Asia specifically as an exchange student, is a really great destination. One thing that's just kind of random is there's a lot of international students here. I am fluent in French and I've never really used that language in my whole life in California. It never comes up, and then here in Seoul, out of all places, I meet just French people all the time, and I get the chance to practice speaking it, so it's really cool.
It really depends on what your priorities are. If you want to go to another place just to have fun and not to like grow in difficulty, then go somewhere else where people speak, for example, more English or where communication will be easier. But if you want to kind of challenge yourself and try new things, go to a new continent maybe, or to a new country that will, you know, allow more stuff, then come to Korea. It's very fun.
Here, I think that you can, as I said before, learn more things, like different things, cultural things, like also discover a new country, like European culture and Korean culture is really different. So if you want to learn something new or if you want to just grow in difficulties, just come here. It's a really good choice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for the interview.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure, man.